welcome Chloe Grace Moretz. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Great to see you.
Good to see you too, how are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
You good?
I have been noticing these shoes
Yeah?
since you got here.
You like them?
Put them on the box. Let's show them off to everybody. What are they?
They're Top Shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Top Shop for the runway.
So fabulous.
Yeah, I know, it's special.
I love.
My stylist was like, look at these bad boys. I was like, sold.
Yeah, done.
I'll take them.
And that's like one of my favorite colors in the whole world too.
I know, they're magical.
Yeah.
They're my little magical shoe.
Do you feel like magic when you're walking in them?
I feel like magic. I'm Tinkerbell now. It doesn't make sense though, because they're not green.
Oh.
They don't have anything else on them.
Don't worry, they're still magic.
Tinkerbell. It's okay.
Okay, so let's get right into Hugo.
Okay.
When you auditioned for Hugo, Martin Scorsese had no idea that you were not British because your accent was so good? Is this true?
Yeah. I came out here. Well, first I went on tape for him, and they were like, Martin Scorsese is making a movie with, teenagers in it. And I was like, stop it. I was like, okay, perfect. I'm doing it. And so my brother and I, who's my acting coach, Trevor, we created this little character with the scene and this accent, and I went on tape for it, and he actually saw it, and he thought I was a Brit. Nice. And so when I went in, he was totally convinced, because up until the time when the audition was over, I was totally British the whole time. So he didn't realize that I was an actual American. So when I at the end of the audition, I was like, yeah, cool, and he was like, whoa. He was like, hold on, kid. He was like, you're American? I was like, yeah, Marty. Duh.
You did not call him Marty.
Well, here's the thing. I walked in, I was super polite. I was like, hello, Mr. Scorsese. Very nice to meet you. And he was like, call me Marty. I was like, hi, Marty. Hi.
How did you perfect the accent? Like, what is it about it that you had to change?
It's hard. I have a really good ear for those type of things. And when I shot Kick-Ass out there for like 3 months, I picked up the accent really well. And my brother and I, we always fool around with accents, and we always like make fun of like, British and like Australian accents. Like we super heighten them. And so when they actually told us they wanted me to do, a British accent, we were like, perfect. Like we've been playing with that forever now. So we just, I watched Shakespeare in Love a lot because I think
nice.
Gwyneth Paltrow's accent in that, the way she did that was just absolutely beautiful. So I watched that like 15,000 times, and it's just really getting down the rhythm, because they have a really weird like loopy way of talking.
I tried desperately yesterday to try and do an Australian accent.
Do
because,
it.
I can't. That's the problem.
Go.
I don't even have a clue. I sounded like a ride in Spain falls mainly on a plane. That's basically what but that is not Australian in any way. Yeah, so it's probably best that I don't do that anymore.
I think that's Cockney.
Oh, you think? Just a little.
I mean,
it's not even. Can you do Australian?
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Just not. You're gonna leave me hanging,
I'm
aren't
leaving you hanging with your little.
So not cool.
With your little whole thing,
Jason was laughing at me as well. It was awful.
I mean, I wasn't gonna go that far, but it was special.
Yeah, thanks.
Very special.
Thank you so much. Now, had you read the book before you had gotten the part?
I hadn't actually, because it was funny. Right when I got out of normal school,
right,
and I went to homeschool, I had just missed the year of when everyone was reading the books in school. So everyone like a year below me was reading the book, and they're like, oh my God, there's this book called Hugo Cabret, and it's genius, and it's like, it's amazing, they should make it into a movie, and I was like, okay, perfect. And then it's funny, because all my friends had then, my younger friends had then read it when I was doing the movie, and they're like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with that book, and I was like, oh, hey. Well, I'm doing the movie.
Guess what?
I
somehow skipped a step and cooler than you.
Hey,
all right.
What now?
Now, I heard that you like to listen to music while you're trying to get into character for things. So what music were you listening to when you were doing this film?
I listened to a lot of French type music. Funny enough, yeah, I listened to a lot of like Carla Bruni, and I don't know, I got really into like the little like French mood, and I became like a little, I don't know, God, how do you explain it? I felt like, okay, during the whole movie, I felt like I was like riding on a little bike with like a baguette in my like little carriage, being like, oh, I'm just like strolling through Paris.
Were you miming?
Yeah, that's it. I was miming. I was just like, hey, Marty. How you doing?
That is awesome. Because the stereotypical French thing, that's where you go.
Miming. Yes. That's exactly what I think about every time I think of French people.
Now, my favorite movie that you have done, besides Cake, I don't know if I can pick favorites, but Let Me In has to be one of my favorite horror movies.
Yeah?
I absolutely love
Thank you.
What was it about that movie in particular because it's scary and it's dark and it's
dark.
What was it about that movie that made you want to do it and like it?
Well, it's hard because that movie was really special. We read the script for that, and it was funny. My mom had actually seen Let the Right One In.
Right.
A lot of people in my family had seen that movie, and they're like, "Wow, that's a really beautiful movie. It's a really genius movie." And so I was like, "Oh, wow, that'd be really fun to do as like an American retelling. You know, not really a remake, but it's kind of like a retelling of the book." So when they came out and they were like, "Oh, you know, we're doing a remake or retelling of Let the Right One In," I was like, "Oh, exciting! I've always wanted to play like a supernatural being, you know." And so I auditioned for it, and it's just the script is was so beautiful and so special. And not only was it a vampire thriller, dark movie, it was a love story with this young girl and this young boy, and they just, I don't know, it really told the story of, you know, you'll do whatever for each other, even kill. He would kill for her, literally.
Literally.
And give her blood.
Yes. Thank you so much for that.
Very morbid. Very morbid, but it's okay.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.